Scrub-a-dub-dub, what's in the tub? What's going on, my subscribers? Ace here, and I am here with the CCL Season 2 Round 5 match of my team, the Alabasta Arcanines, versus Lee's team, the Cherrygrove Charizards. And now, this is a matchup of a top 4, matchup. I'm ranked number 1 in the league this week, and Lee is actually ranked number 4. So this is like a battle of the giants in our league. And overall, you guys know what I'm bringing this week. So let's look over at Lee's team. He brought the Alakazam, the Hitmontop, the Haxorus, the Zapdos, the Garbodor, and the Cofagrigus. I don't know why, I paused there for a second because I got confused. I was like, bruh. But either way, I was like, okay, looking at Lee's team, I was like, he could lead off with the Mega Alakazam or regular Alakazam with Life Orb, and really just start giving me trouble right off the bat. Or he could lead off with the Cofagrigus because I don't have a great resistance to that. I do have the immunity to it, but he could still just get off the Will-O-Wisp. And I'd be meh position, even though I do have the facade, but he does have the mommy ability, so kind of negates that. And then I saw that he has the Zapdos there, so I was like, okay, he could just lead off with that and Volt Switch. So I think my overall best play was just to lead off with my Latias because it resists the Volt Switch. It has the Cassette Berry, which is the Ghost Effectiveness Berry, and it puts me in a good position against Cofagrigus and the Alakazam if it doesn't have Dazzling Gleam. So that's what I decided to lead off with there, and let's get into this battle, guys. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are hyped. So Lee's just doing the challenge. He's like, boy, come get this, Scrub. And I'm like, boy, you about to catch this work. So he leads off with his Cofagrigus here, and I just fire off a Shadow Ball because I know I have the Cassette Berry, so it will pop if he decides to go for a Shadow Ball here. Now we get off some nice damage here and actually get a special defense drop, which is fortunate for me, unfortunate for Lee there. A little bit sorry about that because he does actually set up a Calm Mind, and this puts him in a pretty hard position because now he is at he's basically neutral statted again. Now the way that he took that first Shadow Ball, I know the second one won't kill, but I can't just let him set up, so I just have to go for another Shadow Ball here, and it does heck of a lot. And I actually get a crit on that, which actually puts him in a really, I guess, a bad position there. Just like things compounding on him and puts him in a bad position there. I'm really sorry for that, Lee. But he actually rests up here, and I guess he's just trying to play the lottery here a little bit because I play the I do the Shadow Ball here just to get damage because I want this thing gone because I can't have a setup onto my face just destroying my team. Like I said, I don't have a great swapping against this Mon, but he goes for the Sleep Talk here. And actually just gets the Calm Mind, which is unfortunate for him, just because I will outspeed him the following turn. And I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball because, realistically, everything takes damage from it, and it will kill this thing after the first special defense drop at the range he's at. So we just fire off a Shadow Ball here, and this thing goes down, and we're in a nice position 6-5, which is unfortunate for Lee. Just getting the small hacks there kind of sucks. But now I'm in a really good position. My specially defensive wall is hasn't been touched, and then I see this thing come out, and I'm like, holy crap, this thing is scary. I'm not max speed, so this thing probably is really scary to me. I don't want to drop a Draco just yet, because I do have a physically defensive Weezing here that can eat up any hit from this thing. So Lee decides to go for the Night Slash here, and it's going to do a decent amount of damage, and I was like, dang. And we did see that he used Mold Breaker there, so I figured that he probably was a DD set, so I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp here. Seeing if he's a Lumberry, and if not, I know that I can take a +1 Earthquake from this thing, either way. So I get the Will-O-Wisp off, and he's actually not Lumberry, so I figure he's probably like Expert Belt or some sort. So he decides to Dragon Dance up again just to get back to neutral here. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I'll just go for a Sludge Bomb here just to get off damage, just because I need to whittle this thing down. And realistically here, he's not going to kill me with one Earthquake, and it puts me closer to the range of where my Cassette Berry can pop so that I can get off Cassette Destiny Bond against any one Mon that I want. And I'd really like that against the Mega Alakazam just because I feel like it's a major swap in against my Weezing here. And we're going to go off a Sludge Bomb here, and he's going to go down to burn. So my boy Weezing is going to come out here and get a kill. That's my boy. This thing is an absolute monster. So he does bring out the Mega Alakazam here, but I'm not quite gust up range. So I'm like, okay, I can't really sit here and just allow this thing to fire off any attack against me. So I do swap into my Latias here because I know I have the Cassette Berry. So even if he fires off a Shadow Ball, I'm in a good position here. So he does reveal that he is Mega Alakazam, and I was like, holy crap, this thing is so scary, bruh. And he does get the trace here, so now my Excadrill, actually no, Excadrill can't still because it's multiple, or actually no, mine's Sand Rush because I'm running Sand. But my Berry pops as he goes for the Shadow Ball, and I'm in a really good position here. Now I can just, I know I can eat this even after the special defense drop. I'm in a good position here. I can just go for a Shadow Ball. Regardless of whatever comes out here, and he does bring out the Border Jumper, the Hitmontop, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting swap in because if I outsped this, I could actually just Psyshock it, but it's not a bad swap because this thing actually does get access to Sucker Punch. So I just had to set Sandstorm here because I figured he might go for the Sucker Punch right off the bat. And I just wanted to test what he was trying to do here, but he does go for the bulk up, which is really smart. Figuring that I probably knew that this thing gets Sucker Punch. Really good play on Lee's part there. It's kind of a little bit of a chess match here, but I like having the Sandstorm up just because it allows me to whittle down Weezing a little bit, and I have my Sandrushmon and Excadrill, which is like in a really good position to endgame sweep once this thing Hitmontop goes down. So I bring out Bastiodon on the Sucker Punch here because I'm not trying to get blown back by Hitmontop and my Latias when it walls the Mega Alakazam. So now here I'm like, okay, you know, he could stay in, but I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here. I believe just, no, I either go for Sludge Bomb or Will-O-Wisp, but I believe, oh no, I do go for Sludge Bomb. I go for Sludge Bomb because I see that it will actually kill, probably from that range. Now I do get the poison here against the Zapdos on the swap in, which is unfortunate for Lee just because like he's basically losing all of his walls just because of my hacks a lot of the time, and I feel really bad about it, and I'm sorry about that, Lee, but there's nothing really I can do about that. Now I can't lose Bastiodon just yet. Like I said, I want it for the Mega Alakazam, so I'm just gonna swap out and bring in my Toblerone. Now he decides to go for the Thunderbolt here, which is gonna go and do a lot of damage, and he's gonna get buffed. I'm gonna get buffeted by the Sandstorm, which reveals that I am faster, and then he's going to get buffeted by the Sandstorm. I am Choice Scarf, and I wanted to bluff that I was Sand Rush just to kind of figure out what Lee wanted to do here. So I decided to go for the Facade here just because that's my overall, I think my best move just to go for. I could go for the Superpower predicting this thing coming in, but I didn't want to lower my attack and make him think that he could just like freely bulk up. Now, he does take Rocky Helmet damage, but I did get off damage there, but the Sandstorm subsides, and I was like, okay, that's a little unfortunate here. So I bring in my Bastiodon again, the Weezing, just because overall this is my best swap into this thing. This thing can't really touch Bastiodon too much because it doesn't have like Zen Headbutt or anything. I don't think it actually gets access to any of those. He does go for the Sucker Punch, so I get a free swap in there, which is really nice. And I just go for the Sludge Bomb again here because I figure it could put Hitmontop in range of taking any attack from a faster Mon or just another hit from Weezing because realistically he's not going to kill me. Now he goes for the Amnesia here. Now I was like, oh okay, this is not good. I go for a Will-O-Wisp here just because I figure this thing is really fat and I'd like to get it whittled down just so that basically in the end game I want Excadrill or the Durant to just end game sweep. So Dora is whittled down there a little bit, and he's just going to get off another Amnesia, and I was like, okay, you know, realistically, if this thing is going to just sit there and do this, I'm going to basically try and just get off damage as much as I can with the Dark Pulse, and if he swaps into the Alakazam, that's fine, I will take the damage. Now this thing does get rest, so that could be problematic to me. He does go for the Drain Punch, which doesn't put me in contemporary range because it's not like really effective. I'm physically defensive, and it's not going to do much to me. Now, I do flinch because he is not Rocky Helmet. It's I forget the name of the move, or the name of the item. Now here, I actually do get the into Berry range, so the next move that I go for is actually going to be Custat Berry boosted. So I'm just going to swap out here because I don't want to pop that just yet. I'd like to save that for the Alakazam, as he's actually going to swap out as well, not wanting to lose his Mond here just yet. So he swaps out into his Hitmontop, and I actually swap out here into my Toblerone because I figure it would take Gunk Shot, and it's not really that useful to me anymore. So I just go for the Superpower here, just get off the most amount of damage as I can, because I figure he's probably going to go for like a Drain Punch or a Mach Punch or something against me here. And I take the Rocky Helmet damage here. He just bulk up, and I was like, okay, you know, I can't let this thing just keep setting up, so I just have to go for another Superpower. Basically just trying to get off damage against this thing. He does go for the Sucker Punch just to kill me off here, and I was like, okay, you know, that's a fine play. Now here I have a couple of options of what I can go into, but I do go into Genji here just because it will outspeed and kill this thing. He does decide to go for the Sucker Punch just to get off damage against Genji, which is not a bad play. I just go for the X-Scissor here because it will hit pretty much everything on his team, maybe barring the Zapdos there, but I didn't want to go for Iron Head and like put myself in a bad position if they make Alakazam. Actually, no, Iron Head probably was a better play there. I kind of messed up there. So I go for the X-Scissor here, just figuring that it would put it in range of the toxic damage to take it down if he doesn't roost. Because I kind of just wanted him to kill me there, just so that I would be like able to basically endgame sweep with just spamming Earthquake basically after I get the Sand Rush up. But I am Assault Vest on my Excadrill, so I'm pretty sure I can take a hit from the Mega Alakazam and just get off the Earthquake there. But I just had to swap into DVA here on his other roost here, and I was like, okay, now I can just start firing off Shadow Balls against this thing and start whittling it down as the poison damage starts just like slowly whittling down at the same time. Now here, yeah, like I said, I just fire off Shadow Balls and boop, nice little damage there, and he actually puts up the Tailwind, and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. I guess that's a counter to my my Sandstorm, because he figures, well, he knows that after the Tailwind he will be faster than a Sandrush Excadrill. So he decides to go for a Roost here again, and I was like, okay, like this is gonna be a little bit annoying here. And I actually just go for another Shadow Ball. I'm really just trying to either get like a special defense drop or something on this thing, because I want this thing whittled down just to the point where like I want to endgame sweep with Excadrill, and with the Assault Vest overall, after the Sandstorm is up, I'm in a really good position here, and I need to whittle out his Tailwind as well. So I'm just going to keep Shadow Balling, just get off damage against this thing. Basically, I still have Genji in the back, which outspeeds the Alakazam because it is Choice Scarfed, and then I will have the Sandstorm. I can put the Sandstorm up at any time really that I want. Just because it will allow me to outspeed the Alakazam after the Tailwind goes down. But I need to get rid of this this thing right here, and he's realistically going to keep roosting because if he doesn't, he's going to die. So his Tailwind Pitter's out here, and I was like, okay, you know, let me try and get off a Shadow Ball here and just put this thing in death range if he doesn't roost here. And he actually goes for the Tailwind again, so I was like, okay, that's awesome, because now I can freely just go for one more Shadow Ball if I really want to and put myself in a good position. So he decides to go for the Roost again, which is kind of annoying. He gets the Tailwind Roost, I guess, but it's so annoying. So like I just decided, like, I'm like, alright, if he's gonna keep roosting, I'm just gonna go for the Sandstorm here, just to start whittling this thing down with Toxic and Sandstorm damage, and then I can just start firing off Shadow Balls again, and hopefully get a special defense drop, because I'm not trying to sit here for 15 million turns, man. This is like, it's starting to aggravate me that we have to sit here, but this is kind of the thing that we have to play. So Lee swaps out here and goes into his Dora, which is the what is this thing called? Garbodor. Dora the Garbodor here, and I fire off a Shadow Ball just to, well, I kill it there basically, and he goes down, and I'm in a really good position there. Now I do get buffeted by the Sandstorm, and he brings out his Santa Maria, the Mega Alakazam here. And he gets the Levitate ability, so I was like, okay, what is he going to do here? I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball, because if he tries to like Calm Mind or something up, I'm in a good position. Now that does take me out, but I feel that I'm in a pretty good position here just to kind of take him out. So overall, I have a couple swap-ins that I could bring here. I do have the Sandstorm up, and his Tailwind's going to peter out here. So I figure I'm going to go into my my Excadrill here, just because that puts me in a really good position to just, like, I think go for an Iron Head right here. Yeah, I just go for an Iron Head here because I figure he could bring in these Zapdos as well. And I do have the Rock Slide here, but he actually gets the Static, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Because now his Alakazam is faster than me. But like at this point, I think I'm in a really good position because I still have my endgame sweeper in Genji, so I'm in a fine position. And I do have the Assault Vest here to tank up this Heat Wave, as I can just go for a Rock Slide here, but I actually get paralyzed, so I was like, alright, you know, that really sucks. Because now he can just roost up But he actually dies to the poison damage, and I forgot. Like, I didn't think that he was going to die to poison damage there, but he actually does, which is fortunate for me. And like, I guess that's like another thing that kind of added to how this battle went is just that hacks from Weezing getting the kill. But now he does have my Sandrush ability, so it really won't matter what I do here. I know I'm Assault Vest, so I can probably eat a hit from this range from the Mega Alakazam. And so I decided to go for the X-Scissor here just to get off damage against this Mega Alakazam, which is a huge threat to my team. He actually lives on like 5 HP, and I was actually surprised that he lived that, to be honest. And he gets on off another Energy Ball. But now here, Genji can really kind of clinch out the thing. But I want to do the Custap Berry so bad. I want it so bad. So here Lee can go for the Psychic as my Destiny Bond does pop here, and this is his last Mon, so he can just go for the young Psyshock here and take out my Bastiodon, but I will get the kill with Weezing in return. So that is going to be our 5th win, guys. We are 5-0, and I've heard through the grapevine that Kendra actually did lose this past week. Spoilers, guys. I'm sorry about that, but we are the only undefeated team left. We are the Alabasta Arcanines at 5-0. So yeah, guys, I'm really excited about that. You guys, thank you so much for the support so far this season. It's been really great. And yeah, make sure to check out Lee and everything. You know, major respect to him. You know, he battled through the hacks and still made it close. It was only a 2-0. Blasters didn't actually end up touching the field there. And I feel like it would have been a lot closer of a match if I didn't get those hacks right at the beginning and then the poison on Zapdos. But I mean, there's nothing I could really do about that, and I'm sorry to Lee for that. But guys, make sure to check out Lee. You know, he's a really great guy. He, you know, as you can see from his icon, he's an older gentleman, but he is very knowledgeable and very wise. So you guys to check that out and learn from him and learn from his vast wisdom, as well as checking out everybody else in the CCO who's linked down below. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Make sure to hit that like button and let me know how you guys are feeling about the Alabasta Arcanines being 5-0. Okay, I'm feeling myself a little bit. Alright, guys. Have a good one. I'm out. Bye-bye.